Hey folks, Rick Dollar here with My Appalachian Home. Each week we're going to journey into the heart of Appalachia. Its stories, its music, and its people. I'm going to share with you the rich tapestry of life in this one-of-a-kind region that I call home. So settle in and discover the spirit of Appalachia, one story at a time. This week, folks, we're going to stop in at Randy Wood Guitars in Bloomingdale, Georgia. Rick Dollar here for My Appalachian Home. This is our brand new podcast, and we're going to go a step away from all the glitz and the glamour of bluegrass and country music. We're going to meet guys like Randy Wood. Now, Randy, it's good to have you today, sir.
Well, good to be here.
Not the first. Yeah, exactly. I guess like my granddaddy used to say, any day above ground is a good day.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yep.
So we have invaded the workshop, and man, look at all this work. I mean, what all do you make? I mean,
well, we make basically all the fretted instruments.
wow. Now you're using big terms.
Yeah, we can build, all of the mandolin family, the guitar family, resonator guitars.
Wow.
Things like that. But all of the fretted instruments, and we do repair work on almost all stringed instruments.
Wow. So how long have you been doing all this?
I think it's been right at 58 years now. I started in 1965.
My gosh. What?
So it's been a while. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do.
What you want to do with your life. Yeah. But when I talk to somebody like you, I have to kind of dig a little deeper and find out what in the world made you want to grab a piece of wood one day and make something out of it that made some music.
Well, I was born and partially raised on a farm, where you had to do a lot of stuff by hand. I was working on things all the time, working on equipment, first one thing and another. And I've always enjoyed whittling, working with wood.
Sure.
I've had a pocket knife since I was 5 years old.
Wow.
And it's just something that I've always enjoyed doing. I didn't really start out to work on musical instruments per se. Kind of a funny story. And I was working in Atlanta as a draftsman. I'm a draftsman by trade.
Wow.
And a guy named Tut Taylor, dobro player. He was also a sign painter. A lot of people don't know that. He lived down in Milledgeville, Georgia.
Right.
And he kept asking me if I would like, why wouldn't I move down to Milledgeville, so he would have somebody down there to play music with, because nobody down there much playing. Milledgeville was a small town at the time. And I wasn't really interested in moving to Milledgeville because I was living in Atlanta, and there was all kinds of pickers in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
And then he happened to mention that he had a wood shop. And one of my life's dreams was to have access to a wood shop. I had never even thought about me owning a wood shop, but I wanted to have access to one. So that prompted me to move to Milledgeville. And as it happened, he worked some on dobros and banjos primarily, and occasionally on some guitars. But that kind of got me started on that. I guess if it had been a cabinet shop, I'd be building cabinets.
You'd be building cabinets.
I just wanted to be around wood, wanted to work with wood and work with my hands.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that, and anybody that's ever come into this shop or come into this building at Randy Wood Guitars here in Bloomingdale, you're going to see the most beautiful wood that you've ever seen in your life. I mean, I like seeing raw wood, in its form, like you.
Oh yeah.
You've got sanded pieces here that are just unreal.
Yeah.
But these are, being around musicians and stuff, I know these are two mandolins right here, and these are Randy Wood originals.
Right. Yeah. These are actually octave mandolins, and I designed the bodies. They have carved tops and backs. So they're not inexpensive instruments.
Mm-hmm.
But I designed these things, I don't know, 20 years ago, maybe.
So who have you made mandolins and things like original pieces that are yours?
Oh boy. Well,
let's start with the old guys.
Yeah, most notably
guys that may not be alive right now.
Yeah, most notably, probably Bill Monroe. I made a mandolin back many years ago for Bill Monroe. Later on, Marty Stewart was just getting started at the time and was working with Lester Flatt and needed a mandolin, and so Bill loaned him that mandolin. So Marty played that mandolin for, I think, 4 or 5 years.
Does he still? I think he still owns that mandolin, doesn't he?
No. He gave it back to Bill.
And
then after Bill passed away, they had an auction.
Yeah, I remember now.
And fortunately, at the auction was a young lady named Murphy Henry, and she was looking for something for her husband for a birthday present, I think.
That'll do it.
And so she bought that mandolin. That's the third mandolin that I ever made. Wow. And so Red Henry still has that mandolin and still plays it almost every day. So.
All right, now I know a couple of guys that are into kind of movers and shakers in the business now. I mean, you got some guys that play for Billy Strings that are pretty well adept to what Randy Wood's instruments can do and what they can take over a long touring season. I mean,
well, Billy Strings. Of course, there's hundreds or thousands of other pickers out there that are great also.
Exactly.
But
you do some work for Jared though, didn't you?
I've done some work for Jared.
Did he play one of yours?
Jared and his brother Corey.
Yeah, Corey.
Who plays with I think East Nash Grass.
Yep.
Done a fair bit of work for him. We've worked for just about everybody at one time or another.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you've gone from the Bill Monroe era, and you're still doing it.
Yeah.
Does it seem like it's 58 years?
It don't seem like it.
I mean, it seems to me like it's longer than that.
Yeah, well, to me it seems shorter. But I know when I finally, I left Milledgeville and went to Muscle Shoals, Alabama for 2 years.
Yeah.
With a friend of mine named Royal Yarborough who had a music store over there.
Yeah.
And that was where we started getting into the so-called big name musicians. Hank Jr., who was like, I think 17 at the time.
Wow.
Used to drive down a couple of times a month just to bring us instruments. But that was back in the early days of repair shops. We had one of the only repair shops in the country that I knew about back then in Muscle Shoals. And of course we saw the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, you name it, they were there just about in Muscle Shoals back in the day.
Isn't that crazy?
Fame Studios was world famous for its recording and all. And we met a lot of people there, but it was close enough to Nashville that we also would drive up to Nashville and go to the Opry just about every weekend. And then when I eventually moved to Nashville and opened up a shop up there, we were the only full-service repair shop for 2 or 3 years, pretty much in the country, I guess.
Yeah, that shop's still open, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, started out as GTR. It's now Gruhn Guitars.
Wow.
And George is still
plugging
along.
These are things that not a lot of people know about. What you've done in your life.
Well, I was with George for a little over a year. George and Tut Taylor again, and myself opened GTR in 1970, I believe it was. And then in about 71, Tut and myself and a guy named Grant Boatwright moved over to 2nd Avenue and opened a place called the Old Time Pickin Parlor.
Yeah.
And
sounds familiar.
Yeah, and so I had that for almost 10 years, well, about 8 years,
Wow.
up until 1979. And sold that and moved back down south where it was a little warmer. So
Nothing wrong with that.
been in Savannah ever since.
That's why, sort of why I'm here, too.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
Love Tennessee. Tennessee was a great
Yeah,
state.
Tennessee was great.
I was born in Bristol, but man, sometimes you just got to come down the road a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets a little chilly up there in the
It
wintertime.
does,
And
don't it?
as you get older, the chilly weather hurts worse than the hot
And
weather.
the
It
shoveling
does
of
me.
the snow, I don't like that either. So you definitely don't have to do that very often down here.
No.
There's been like one time since I've been here in 6 years. And
Yeah,
I've had
every 5 or 6 years we'll get
Yeah.
a pretty decent snow.
a lot of snow though sometimes,
Yeah.
Well, you wanted to come down south. What did you do when did you initially go straight into having a guitar shop here, or what did you do?
No, actually, when we sold the place in Nashville, my wife and I decided I was gonna retire,
Mm-hmm.
and I moved back down here. One of the reasons we picked Savannah was I had friends here,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also right on the coast, and I enjoyed fishing.
Oh, yeah.
And so I went fishing 2 or 3 days a week, whether I needed to or not.
Wow.
And I didn't even think about working for a couple of months. And then I started getting the urge to just to working on instruments again.
A little antsy, huh?
Yeah, and finally opened a little small shop behind my house.
Mm-hmm.
And before I knew it, we had outgrown that, and so I moved out here and started this place. We've been out here now 25 years, and it's grown into a full-fledged community, I guess.
Well,
With a music store, the repair shop, a record shop, and a restaurant, and a concert hall. So we've got it all.
Well, the weird thing about how you and I got to know each other, which is I'll always remember this. I knew Ernie Evans,
Right.
and Susan and I, my wife, we came to the conclusion that we wanted to see all these grandkids that were down here, and we got tired of driving so much.
Yeah.
So we said, "Hey, we're just going to move down there."
Yeah.
And the first phone call I made was to Ernie Evans.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Ernie, I'm hooked up here in Bristol pretty good. Everybody comes here. I know everybody at the Birthplace of Country Music Museum. I work for the ACMA. I'm in real heavy with the guys at ETSU. All these things were just working there.
Yeah.
But to see the grandkids, I thought, man, I need to be down there near them."
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to come here, and I said, "Ernie, what am I going to do? I can't go down there and sit on my hands. That's just not what we do."
Well, you find out early on, though, that Savannah's not the end of the world.
No,
anymore.
it's not. But I had no idea what it was about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the first thing Ernie said to me before I could even get all that out of my mouth was, "You need to call Randy."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Okay." So I think I picked the phone up. I think I was mowing the grass.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked the phone up that day and I called you, sitting in the middle of my yard on my riding lawnmower.
Yep.
And you and I had a long talk, and you seemed to be the man that I needed to be talking to.
Yeah.
And hey, the rest is history. But
Yeah, it's a lot of people, find it kind of odd that I'm down here. But when I left Nashville, I was trying to get away from the hustle and bustle of the big city. Nashville, when we first moved there in 1970, was a great place to be.
Mm-hmm.
It was as far as I was concerned, the center of the world.
exactly.
But it outgrew itself.
Yeah, it did.
And
it continues to do that. It's
Yeah.
it's changing. It's more of a metropolis now.
right.
The country music industry has embraced it even more.
Mm-hmm.
So much more that it's sort of like the way it was, when you had guys like Merle Haggard and Porter Wagner and Conway Twitty and all these guys walking up and down Broadway.
Yeah.
And, Ernest Tubbs Record Store.
Yeah.
First time I ever went to Nashville, that was the first place that I went because my dad had told me all these stories about Ernest Tubbs Record Store.
Yeah.
And I walked in, and it was way smaller than I thought it was going to be.
It always is.
It always is. But it was a wonderful place to be. But it is like you're talking. Life goes on. Life morphs itself into other things. Music industry does the same thing. People do the same thing.
Yeah.
But you're one of these guys, though, that are, you and I were talking about, you were looking at a piece of equipment when I came in the door. I thought this was kind of strange. Never seen Randy Wood on a computer.
Well,
but he was there.
You won't see me much on one.
Exactly. But you were on there for a different piece of equipment that you were looking for.
Well, nowadays that's the only place you can go for information.
The point is, you were looking for a different way to do something.
Yeah.
And I said, you've done it all these years the way that you're doing. And the next words out of your mouth is, "Oh, I got the jig already made out there in the shop." Yeah.
And I'm always, looking for new ways to do stuff. I'm not completely
no, I know you're not, but
Neanderthal.
You understand though that if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Well, too, we're starting, or we're getting into some limited production, high-end electric guitars.
Oh, okay.
So I'm the acoustic stuff will still be done the old traditional way that I've always done it,
right?
And will continue to do it. But you have to modernize to some extent.
Exactly.
And with this limited production stuff, we're looking for ways that we can do a particular job a little faster, just to get production out.
Exactly. And I've never come into this place that you didn't have 20 or 30 or 40 things sitting around here that you're thinking that you see as, man, I got to get that done. I got to get that done.
Yeah.
But you still do these things, and you still give them the same quality that you always gave them.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, from Bill Monroe to all the newer guys that are in the business, that's why they come here.
Right.
Plus, they can go over and play in the concert hall and have a good time.
Oh yeah.
Hug necks with some people that they've probably known for years and haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
But it's all around a good whole piece of the pie here.
Right.
And
yeah, we've we actually started the concert hall after I moved down here. I have a lot of friends and acquaintances that would call on the way down, and they would be coming through the area and want to stop and visit, but they didn't have time, or first one thing and another.
Right.
We came up with the idea of opening a small concert hall to give people a venue to play, so they could pick up a little extra gas money and stop and visit for a day. And it's a break from from Virginia, North Carolina, or Tennessee, down to Florida. They can come in here and do a show, and they don't have to wear themselves out going to Florida in one day. They can do it in 2 days.
Exactly. I mean, when you're going 81 south and then you hit 95, you come straight down the way to Florida, which is, and we were talking about Ernie Evans a little while ago. Ernie's like, he's the guy to talk to if you want to be in a festival in Florida.
Oh yeah.
Because he's done a tremendous job promoting them and doing what he needs to do with them. But the beauty of it all, like you're saying, you're like a one-stop shop for these guys.
Yeah, and a lot of them, I know little one Lizzie, I think they plan their trips on when they're going to need repair work on their instruments or maintenance work done on them.
That's very smart.
They usually come in the morning, and we spend the day doing maintenance on all of their stuff before they play that night.
Yeah, but you got little Roy in here. I don't think you get too much work done.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to put up with him, and
That man has got problems. He is. He's a great fella.
He's a national treasure. I don't know what's going to happen.
I swear.
When he gets off the road.
Man, I don't know either. I don't know when that'll ever happen.
It may not. And I've known a few other people that like that they're just people don't realize how great they are until they're gone.
Exactly.
And they leave a big void there, and little Roy's going to be one of those.
Gosh, man. Remember the first time I met him? Where was it? Can't even remember where it was now. It's all. I've been doing this for 13 years, and it's all kind of all together now. But first day I met him, I was like, he's pretty short.
Yeah.
I stood next to him, and I was like, daggone, man.
Yeah.
But he's one of these guys that will always be remembered, not just for the instruments he plays and the way he does things, and the way they handle their business. But he's gonna be one of these guys that you look back and you say, man, I remember when he did this or he said this.
Yeah. There's a million stories out there.
Oh my gosh.
Of pranks that he's pulled on first one and another. He and Sonny Osborne were great friends, but there were times when Sonny would have pinched his head off if he could have caught him. So,
I can see that.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
Amazing.
Speaking of the Osborne brothers, man, I mean, those are guys too that, were always going to do it until they couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bobby, I saw Bobby just a few weeks before he passed away, and he was still giving it everything he had.
See, that's what I'm saying. But that's the way that people like that in this business or in this industry or whatever you want to call it, that's the only way that they knew how to be.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that the music business is lacking. It seems like nowadays, a lot of people, or seem like more and more people get into it because they think it's a glamorous lifestyle or something they're going to make a lot of money at, something like that. They don't get into it because for the love of the music or the love of the
That's
of the
exactly
industry.
right. It has to be that.
Yeah.
So many of these, like you're saying, you can think all this crazy stuff that you want to think. But there's a lot of these guys, man, that just go out and they want to get out in the yard and do something on the days that they're not on the road.
Oh yeah.
They want to be away from everything.
And that's one of the things I like about bluegrass music is most the true stars of bluegrass pretty much they're going to play whether they're playing a show that day or not, they're going to sit down and play something somewhere.
Yeah. One guy that comes to mind, you're talking about these guys, like Larry Stevenson is one of these guys.
I was just thinking about Larry.
Larry's one of these guys that made he made a huge mark on me for some reason. I don't know what it was.
Well, he's such a great guy. He's genuinely friendly.
Yeah.
Loves people and he loves the music.
Exactly.
And it's that's what you've got to have to survive in almost any of the music forms, but bluegrass in particular. You've got to love it to appreciate it and enjoy it.
I mean, sometimes you don't even know you love it until you get involved in it.
Right.
And you start meeting the people. And, I got all hung up on the history of where I was and where I was living, growing up and stuff. And, it's over the years, it's just kind of just ballooned into, you got to see how all the pieces fit. And now I see where your piece fits in this huge puzzle.
Yeah.
And I would have never known that.
Yeah.
If I hadn't came to Savannah.
Yeah.
See?
That's right.
So you never know where you're going to go and why you're going to be there.
And that's something I always like. I don't follow history and all, but I enjoy hearing about where different people came from,
Exactly.
what they did growing up and where they grew up and how they got into the business and all.
That's it.
Very interesting.
That could be
a huge part of history.
Let me tell you. I mean, when we first started running the roads and interviewing all these people, and I never knew what I was, getting into. But my friend at the time that helped me start all this, Tony Dean. I'll never forget Tony as long as I live. He's one of the best friends I've got. This guy said, I really think we're going to be a part, these interviews are going to be a part of history one day. And I said, what are you talking about? I didn't have any idea. But now we've been around a lot of people I never thought I would ever be around. And it's all kind of kismet. It's all just kind of a beautiful thing that happens. And the good thing is I'm sitting here with Randy Wood today. He's telling me about
well, I appreciate it.
all the things you've had to do.
I'm glad to be sitting anywhere.
Instead of just laying somewhere. I've been there too. Well, thanks, Randy. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Well,
anything in the world that we can ever do for you, you just let us know.
We'll be here.
Okay, buddy. All right. Rick Dollar. And this has been the second episode of My Appalachian Home. Thanks for riding shotgun with us this week on My Appalachian Home. Remember, life is what you make of it. We'll see you soon.